Hello. In this video, I will be taking you through a biographical retrospective of Pablo Picasso. Picasso was born in Spain in 1881, but lived most of his life in France, where he became a famous artist that he is known to be. Some of Picasso's earned titles were, of course, master artist and painter, but also skilled sculptor, printmaker, ceramics artist, etching artist, and writer. His artwork evolved throughout movements of naturalism at a young age, to cubism, expressionism, and even surrealism. His most famous works is his series of self-portraits, which contain many cubist qualities and characteristics. This collection will be shown momentarily. He and George Braque often worked together, which initiated the Cubist movement. Their works often utilized an earth tone palette and explored the presentation of art using geometric shapes. The purpose behind geometric shapes was to reconstruct and reconfigure a subject by manipulating its perspective. Displayed is some of the periods of Picasso's works, which changed his style dramatically. Almost all of the works he created were in oil medium, since he was the most experienced with this type of paint. Not to take away from how diverse of an artist he was. Throughout all 80 years of his career, his art reflected the changes each movement created, as well as influencing some other movements himself. He is one of the most versatile artists, and his art continues to influence aspects of art today. Again, displayed is some periods of his artwork throughout his career. The blue period ranges from 1901 to 1904 and used a blue or cool palette for these paintings. The rose period from 1904 to 1906 utilized a more pink to reddish tone in his artworks. The primitivism period from 1907 to 1909 was influenced by African aspects and culture, and the Cubanism period from 1907 to 1919 was one of the longest periods and most famous. This is the period where he was influenced and created some of the most influential artworks, including some of his self-portraits. And lastly, the neoclassical and surrealist period ranged from 1919 to 1929, which filled out the end of his career. Here is the evolution of self-portraits, a collection that displays Picasso's style as it changes and is shown through his self-portraits and how different movements influenced his artistic style. His first self-portrait was created in 1896, and he was 15 years old. The next one he made at 18 years old in 1900. 1901 he made his next one at 20 years old, and at 24 years old he made his next self-portrait. 1938 he was 56, and you can see his style is starting to change from a more naturalism to a more expressive and cubist style. In 1965, at the age of 83, you can see some more changes, and as we get to his last few portraits, where he was 89, 90 years old, you can see how there is more geometric shaping in his work. It is very much less realism and more cubism, and you can see how his style has changed.